bugged my son-in-law's phone, only to hear my daughter sobbing.
I'm pregnant and still working my ass off on a business trip, and you're out sleeping with someone else.
My heart lurched. I could already hear the sounds of a physical struggle over the line. My daughter's cries and screams tore at my soul. I scrambled out of bed. My wife asked where I was going, but I was already running out the door like a madman. The fighting on the bug stopped. I heard my in-law, the son-in-law's mother, shout in a panic.
What are you fighting about in the middle of the night? And what are we gonna do?
My son-in-law's voice was also panicked.
She's not gonna miss Kate, is she? Hey, wake up! I'm telling you, don't you play dead, get up!
My in-law said, furious.
He's the one who angered her into this. It's affecting the baby. I've told you 1,000 times to stop your fillering. Get her to the hospital, now!
A frantic commotion followed from the other end. My hands on the steering wheel were shaking uncontrollably. I'd suspected my son-in-law's infidelity for a while. A buddy of mine told me he'd seen someone matching my son-in-law's description, checking into a hotel with another woman. To gather evidence, when my daughter told me she was going on a business trip, I asked my son-in-law to come over and help fix a leaking pipe. While he was busy, I opened his phone and planted a listening device, just to see if he'd mess around while she was out of town. I wanted to protect my daughter in the most foolproof way. I never imagined disaster would strike so fast. I frantically grabbed my phone to call my son-in-law, but the call was rejected. Immediately, he texted me, "Dad, in a meeting, can't talk." I was furious. I called again, but he'd already turned his phone off. Not only his, but my in-law's phone was off too. Over the bug, I heard my son-in-law's anxious voice.
"Turn off your phones, quick! Her dad just called out of nowhere. What if he's looking for her?"
Now you're scared? One phone call and you're this spooked?
I was going insane. I could hear them talking, but I couldn't reach them. I didn't even know which hospital they were taking my daughter to. I dialed 911 in a panic. After hearing my report, the dispatcher asked, confused,
What exactly is your emergency? Didn't you just say they're taking your daughter to the hospital?
Can you trace which hospital they're at?
We can't do that, sir. If there's no immediate threat, I'm going to clear the line.
I sat in my car, my whole body trembling with rage. I heard my daughter being admitted to the ER. I heard a doctor urgently say,
Water broke with a major hemorrhage. She's going into labor, but the mother is unconscious. We need an emergency C-section now.
My in-law immediately protested.
No, you can't cut her open. It has to be a natural birth. C-sections lead to all sorts of complications for the baby.
This is a life or death situation. The mother is in no condition for a natural birth. She will die.
And if my grandchild ends up with brain damage from the drugs, will you take responsibility? You find a way to get that baby out naturally. We do not consent to surgery. You take that scalpel to her, and I will sue this hospital for every penny it's worth.
Listening to this, I frantically grabbed my phone, scrolling through my contacts. I called an old college buddy who's a doctor. He picked up, and I couldn't stop the tears. Through sobs, I begged,
"Old friend, please, you have to help me."
He told me to calm down.
Calm down.
I took huge, ragged breaths, trying to explain the situation, but a hot rush of blood was pounding in my head, making my words tremble and my fingers shake. I knew that feeling. It was pure, blinding rage, a rage I couldn't control, and my body was about to break under it. After hearing my story, my friend said, panicked,
Oh God, no, it's her mother-in-law who's the problem. The hospital's hands are tied. If no family was present, they could perform the C-section under emergency protocol. But since the family is there and objecting, unless your son-in-law signs, they have to stand by and just watch her die.
It's a human life. How could they just let her die?
My friend sighed.
Without next of kin consent, their hands are legally tied. Look, don't panic. I'm calling everyone I know in the medical network. I'll tear the city apart to find which hospital she's at.
I told myself, for my daughter's sake, I couldn't fall apart like a headless chicken. I pulled up the GPS on my phone, calculating the drive time. The bug indicated it was about an 8 to 10 minute drive. The problem was, my son-in-law lived near the city center, close to the best resources. A quick search showed 5 major medical centers, 4 general hospitals, and 1 dedicated women's and children's hospital within a 5-mile radius. But it was a start. I forwarded the list of 10 hospitals to my friend. He told me he'd check the women's hospital first. After hanging up, I listened to the bug again. I heard a nurse, voice strained, explaining the situation.
If we don't do a C-section right now, we will lose the mother.
My son-in-law was clearly panicking, stammering,
What do we do?
Just wait. Let us discuss this as a family.
Oh my God, ma'am, I'm telling you, her heart rate is crashing. Do you think there's time for a family discussion?
You shut your mouth. This is a private family matter. How dare a girl your age lecture your elders?
My in-law's harsh words silenced the nurse. I heard the sounds fade, as she must have pulled her son into a quiet hallway. My son-in-law's voice was trembling.
Mum, what do we do now? Shouldn't I just sign and get the baby out?
You brainless fool. Why did I raise such a stupid son? Think. If she survives this, will she divorce you?
Definitely.
And in a divorce, she takes half of everything, right? we'd be tied up in court for years, and with a kid, she'll get primary custody. Then she'll hit you for child support and raise a child who hates your guts. Your life will be ruined.
But what about her family? What if they make trouble?
The hospital failed to save her. That's on them. Right now, her life is in our hands. If we deliberately don't sign and she dies, well, it's not technically a crime, is it? And once she's gone, all her savings, all her assets, they're all yours.
Mom, you've really thought this through.
Only because you don't have a brain to think with. When the doctor comes back, don't you say a word. Let me handle it.
Listening to their conversation, the rage that had been building inside me erupted into a supernova. Just then, messages lit up my phone. One from my doctor friend. Not at the women's hospital. 6 checked, 4 to go. Hang in there. Another from my wife.
Where did you run off to in the middle of the night? Is everything okay?
Seeing her message, I cried freely. My wife is the person I'm closest to in this world. But any parent knows at a certain age, your child becomes the center of your universe. How could I tell her this? Our only daughter was fighting for her life. How could I even begin to say the words? I was already falling apart, trembling, needing my partner more than ever to get through this nightmare. But I had no idea how to break it to her. As I wrestled with whether to call my wife, the bug delivered the doctor's sorrowful voice.
The mother has passed. Please sign the consent forms. There's still a chance to save the baby. Sign and we can perform a C-section now.
Hearing those words, that hot mass in my brain finally exploded, a searing wave of nothingness spreading through my skull. My daughter, my only daughter, just in her 20s, was gone. I tried to remember her face, but my mind was broken. I couldn't see the adult she'd become. All I could remember was her as a child, in a little bunny-patterned onesie, tottering towards me with her arms outstretched. She'd wobble over, call me Mama, and fall into my arms. I remembered picking her up, gently telling her I was Dada, not Mama. She'd look at me with those big, curious eyes, then suddenly bury her little face in my chest and murmur, Dada. That was the first time she called me Dada. That day, I held her close, and I just kept whispering, Daddy loves you. Daddy will always protect you. Forever and ever, my love. And now, the pain. Oh God, the pain was suffocating. I couldn't breathe. My vision swam. My body was failing under the weight of this grief and fury. My daughter, my only daughter, just gone. Vanished from this world. I couldn't even remember her on her wedding day, laughing and crying because she couldn't bear to leave us. All I could see was that tiny little girl I'd promised to love and protect forever. Suddenly, my friend called me. His voice was urgent, almost triumphant.
Founder, 2nd General Hospital. Go, now!
Too late, she's gone. It's too late.
I was driving, sobbing uncontrollably. My voice a raw rasp. My friend fell silent. I cried out.
I have no daughter anymore. What am I going to do? My baby girl is gone. She was so young. She's not here anymore.
My hands shook so badly, I could barely steer. I engaged the cruise control, letting the truck carry me down the freeway. I asked,
I have their whole conversation recorded. They did this on purpose. Can I get the DA to press charges? Can I make them pay with their lives?
I'm so sorry, man, but it won't be enough. Your recording will make sure they lose any malpractice suit against the hospital, but criminal charges, deliberate inaction, it's a nightmare to prove. Listen to me. It's not over. Your daughter was pregnant. Her baby might still have a chance. That's her flesh and blood. You have to protect her.
Her child. His words jolted me back. Yes, my daughter's baby could still be saved. She'd bought all those cute little onesies, so excited to dress her own baby in them. She'd felt the baby kick and asked my wife wide-eyed if she'd been just as restless in the womb. She playfully nagged me to hand over my secret cash stash so she and the baby could go to a nice recovery center. A request so sweet, I'd happily given her every last cent. My daughter had so looked forward to this baby, so eager to be a good mother. I had to protect her final dream. But the voices on the bug brought a fresh wave of devastation. I heard the doctor insistent.
Please, you must sign. Just sign and we can perform the C-section.
And my in-law's voice again.
How many times do we have to tell you? We need to have a private conversation first.
I drove on, dumbfounded. Why wouldn't they sign? What was there left to discuss? I heard them retreat to their quiet corner again. My son-in-law, confused, asked,
Mom, why won't you let me sign?
His mother, exasperated, said,
Are you really that stupid? She's dead and you want to sign. You're in your 20s. Are you planning to find a new wife or not?
Well, eventually, of course.
Those callous words tore through my heart like a rusty blade. My daughter had been dead only minutes, and he was already confirming he'd move on. His mother pressed on, frantic.
So what's the point? Let that baby suffocate in there. Look, if that kid is never born, that's just a tragedy. But if it is born, it'll ruin your life.
My son-in-law gasped.
Is it really that serious?
With no wife to raise it, how will you focus on your career? And what decent woman wants a man dragging a kid from a previous marriage? You're young. You have so many opportunities.
You're right. But still, it's my blood.
And kissed a freshman named Sierra in front of everyone. I broke up with him on the spot.
Don't be such a buzzdill. If you kiss someone on a dare, I wouldn't even blink.
He laughed it off. Sean had me figured out. The good girl never does anything reckless. But when then the next round came, Sean's best friend Flynn, the school's golden boy, drew the same pile. His dare, take someone home for the night. He stood up slowly.
Want to spend the night with me?
I placed my hand in his.
Yes.
Sean called my phone until it died. Earlier that evening, Sierra's dare read, kiss any guy in the room for 3 minutes. The next second, her eyes landed directly on Sean. Everyone followed her gaze. Sean just looked down, acting like he couldn't feel the heat of her stare. Sierra turned to me, voice small and rehearsed.
Ava, can I borrow Sean for 3 minutes?
The room went silent. Everyone held their breath, watching. I genuinely didn't understand.
There are plenty of single guys here. Why ask him?
She couldn't answer. She bit her lip, looked embarrassed. But she moved to the other end of the booth anyway. Asked the first guy, rejected. The second, rejected. The third.
Sure.
His smile was muddy.
With tongue?
The guy had drunk too much. Sierra looked like she was about to cry.
No, that's fine. You don't have to.
He grabbed her wrist anyway. Leaned in. The hand that had been lazily holding mine finally let go. Sean stood, yanked Sierra back by the arm, looked at the guy with a cold smile.
You get off on cornering girls?
Sierra gripped Sean's hand, looked up at him like he was the only solid thing in the room. I grabbed his sleeve at the same moment. Sean turned back to me. I didn't make a scene. I kept my voice easy, smile light.
I have a headache. Take me home? Come with me, Sean. Just walk out that door with me right now and I'll believe everything you said. That Sierra means nothing. That you only want me.
Our eyes met. He moved my hand off his sleeve.
You know I can't. Not right now.
He saw my eyes go glassy. He let go of Sierra's hand and crouched down in front of me. His voice dropped, softer, coaxing.
Sierra and I are in the same class. I have to look out for her. Ava, be good.
He reached up and brushed the corner of my eye with his thumb.
If you can't watch, don't. Just wait a few minutes.
Sean, if you kiss her, I will break up with you.
My eyes burned dry. Not a single tear fell. I held his gaze.
I mean it.
Sean's patience snapped, stood up, and looked down at me.
Stop being petty, Ava.
I stared up at him and recognized that look. Last time I'd seen it, he'd heard the housekeeper wanted to set him up with her daughter. Polite refusal, endless contempt underneath. One of Sean's friends couldn't take it anymore.
Relax, Ava. It's just a game.
His girlfriend muttered under her breath.
Seriously? Why come to a bar if you're going to be this uptight? She's ruining the vibe.
Before I could open my mouth, from the corner of the booth, Flynn, who hadn't said a word all night, let out a short, quiet laugh. The whole room shifted toward him.
If it's just a game, why don't you go kiss every guy here?
He paused, seemed to remember something, and drawled out a slow.
Oh. Except me. I'm not playing.
He knew exactly where the line was. Enough to humiliate her, not enough to cause a scene, and it worked. The girl sputtered for 10 seconds, face red, and said nothing. Flynn bit the filter of a cigarette and lit it, leaned back into the cushion, slid the metal lighter onto the table with a small, dismissive click, tossed her own words back at her.
Buzzkiller.
I stared at him, couldn't blink. He was Sean's friend. I hadn't expected him to say a word. I was so thrown that I missed the 3 minutes entirely. By the time Sean sat back down beside me, I had already opened my phone and deleted his contact. He looked at me, flat.
What is this?
What I told you. We're done.
I was about to block his number when he pressed down on my hand.
Are we really doing this? Over a game? How far are you planning to take this? If you'd kiss someone on a dare, I wouldn't care at all.
He knew my personality. He'd always known I wouldn't push back. That's why he never worried. Then the noise from across the room spiked. Flynn had drawn the most loaded dare in the deck. Take anyone here home for the night? One of the guys grinned and added,
Like, actually check into a hotel? That kind?
Flynn didn't move at first. Someone who knew him jumped in.
Flynn's been celibate for years, man. Just take the drink penalty and move on.
Nobody expected anything different. Most people who drew this one just laughed it off.
Wait.
Flynn spoke. He raised his eyes and looked straight at me. Everyone watched him stand, unhurried, deliberate, and walk to where I was sitting. He held out his hand, smiled like he could make you forget your own name.
What do you say? Want to give it a shot tonight?
Sean narrowed his eyes at Flynn, smiled easily.
You must be drunk. Let me send someone to take you home. That's my girlfriend, man.
The air tasted like smoke and static. Flynn glanced at Sean, completely unbothered.
So? It's just a game. Don't be such a buzzkill, Sean.
Sean's expression didn't shift.
Oh, I'm not worried. She's too conservative. She won't say yes. I'm turning you down on her behalf.
Then I placed my hand in Flynn's palm.
Okay.
Sean's smile froze on his face. I thought about every time someone on campus called me the good girl. The alcohol pushed back against every version of myself that had ever played it safe. So I said yes. Flynn looked at our joined hands, raised an eyebrow, pulled me to my feet and walked toward the door. The room erupted behind us.
No way! Is that actually Flynn? Am I that drunk? Stop!
Sean's voice cut through all of it. He was still seated.
Just wanted to say, let me know which hotel. I'll send over some protection.
I stepped in before Flynn could respond.
That's okay. Worrying about your ex's hookups? That's a little pathetic, Sean. Sorry. I don't really do clingy.
I grabbed Flynn's hand and walked out the door before Sean's expression could finish curdling.
Mom, stop! Please do not hit Mrs. Brown.
You are just a piano teacher. Focus on your classes and do not ask too much.
I do not care. Teaching piano is just my passion. If I want, I could even make this whole school carry the Brown name.
Last week, after I find a student's mother's affair, she says she will get me kicked out of the school.
Mrs. Brown, did you give this grade? Are you deaf? I listened to last week's recording over 20 times. My son's touch was at least 15% weaker than it should be.
I stand there, stunned, watching as Mr. Ashford turns around to face Mrs. Mercer, who is standing there with her arms crossed. His posture looks more like he is trying to calm her down than hold her accountable. I have no choice but to turn and leave. I sit in the office for 2 full classes. The burning pain on my face comes back again and again. And the more I think about it, the more unfair it feels. By lunch break, Mr. Ashford finally pushes the door open, slow and casual.